Welcome to the number 21 edition of WWMS, our weekly Friday Flex show here on the Fairfield Woods YouTube channel. We hope all of you had a nice week, but sit back and relax because we have many things to break it down in today's episode, including the new hit movie, The Creator, that is already out and has been out for the past few weeks, and Arav's interview with the Deed himself, Mr. Mark Robinson. But first, let's start off with our joke of the week. My boss told me to have a good day, so I went home. We hope you guys got some enjoyment out of that very funny joke. To start off this week, let's go to Arav's segment about the Nobel Prize winners.
What's up, dudes? Last Monday, October 2nd, began Nobel Prize Week. First, what is the Nobel Prize? The Nobel Prize dates back to the inventor and entrepreneur named Alfred Nobel, who invented dynamite on top of holding 355 patents. Because of this, he was kind of rich. So when he passed in 1896, he split up most of his money into 5 parts, each for a different prize. In total, he left about $265 million. So let me tell you about the winners for this year, 2023. The Nobel winner for the prize in medicine was awarded to Ketan Korito and Drew Weissman for their work in developing the COVID-19 vaccines. The Nobel Prize for Physics this year was awarded to Pierre Augustoni, Ferenc Krauss, and Anne Lehouder after creating a pulse of light so short that it was measured in attoseconds, or 1/1000th of a second. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry for this year was awarded to Mongi Bawendi, Louis Brass, and Alexei Ikimov for the discovery and synthesis of quantum dots. This year's prize in literature was given to John Foss, a Norwegian author and playwright known for writing Norsk, a form of Norwegian. And finally, the biggest of all and most talked about prize, the Nobel Peace Prize, was given to Miss Narges Mohammadi, an Iranian mother of 2 daughters and active women's rights activist in Iran, where women are severely oppressed by the nation's totalitarian government. Mohammadi is in Iran's notorious Evin prison as I speak for quote-unquote spreading anti-state propaganda. In total for her crimes, she has been sentenced to over 30 years of prison and 154 lashes. There are so many more pieces to Mohammadi's story, which I don't have time to cover here, nor would they be school appropriate. But that's it for now. In addition to this, the Xavier Risbank Prize in Economic Science was recently added to the list of awards in 1969. All of this year's prizes will be given out at the December awards ceremony in Stockholm, Sweden. With that, peace out, dudes.
In some movie news, I'm going to talk about The Creator, a movie that was released September 29th, but a movie I just saw last weekend. Personally, I thought it was interesting. The movie, which is apparently based on Star Wars, or at least has similarities to it, and also shows similarities to Stranger Things, has received an 88-22 ratio on people who like the movie compared to not, by Google, and stars famous actor Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington, who plays one of the main roles in the movie as Joshua. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10, and is definitely worth seeing if you like sci-fi movies. For some other news, billionaire Ryan Cohen is now the CEO of all-time great gaming company GameStop. Cohen, an entrepreneur whose companies produce around $3.5 billion in annual revenue, made himself a household name as one of the founders of popular pet company Chewy. Cohen now steps in as the CEO of GameStop, looking to bounce back the company with its revenue dropping 15.3% since 2007. In other news, it was recently reported by Fox and AP News that AT&T and Gallaudet University collaborated to release a football helmet for quarterbacks who are deaf or have trouble hearing. The design of the helmet allows a coach to call a play, and the quarterback will see it on the screen in their helmet. AT&T is using their 5G technology to get this done. Gallaudet coach Chuck Goldstein says he thinks it will change football forever. The Division III football program finally used the helmets in action on Sunday afternoon. But this isn't the first time Gallaudet revolutionized the game of football, because they're a school for deaf people, and they used to call their plays back in the late 1800s using sign language. But since other teams would catch on, the players on the Gallaudet team started meeting up in this thing called a huddle. Sound familiar? The huddle is now used in football and as a term when people meet together. Gallaudet continues to change the game of football for years to come. Now for our gamers out there, the hit game series Forza Motorsports is releasing a new game. The Forza Motorsports series, if you didn't know already, is a car racing series that started in 2005. The last time they had a new release was 2017, making this their first release in over 5 years. The entire Forza series as a whole has made over $1 billion over the course of 18 years. The game actually created another free roam game, meaning you could go pretty much anywhere other than the edge of the map, called Forza Horizon. The newest game came out on Sunday. Let's go now to our interview of the week. Our very own Arav Kapoor sat down last week with our Dean of Students, Mr. Mark Robinson, who shared his thoughts on different things going on in the school and how Woods differentiates itself from other schools in Fairfield. Here were the best moments.
Can you just give us a quick state of the union of Woods?
So I think we're doing a pretty good job. Behavior's been very nice. I'm seeing a lot of smiling faces. It seems that, teachers are still pretty much still refreshed from summertime. We're not too stressed out yet. I think it's going very well.
I definitely agree. I think we're doing a very good job. Oh, what do you mean by not stressed out yet?
Well, so students probably don't think, our great esteemed teachers get stressed out, burnt out, tired. We also got to remember that our teachers, they have an outside life too. Most of our teachers have kids. Some of our teachers have second jobs. And so we don't just leave here at 3 o'clock and school's over. We got teachers that correct, until all hours of the night while they're still trying to make family dinners, having family time, going to children's events. So it gets tiring and taxing after a while. And, that's what the kids in school really need to start thinking about, is that there's stuff that teachers are dealing with that students know nothing about, just like students are dealing with stuff that teachers know nothing about.
Anything that you have planned coming up for Woods, or that Woods has right now, that you think really sets it apart from other schools in the state, nation, and town?
I'm not so sure about setting it apart, but we do have some stuff in the works going forward. I know we're going to be acknowledging Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're going to have our Pink Day. We're going to, we have our culture club that has put up the different holidays and the different awarenesses of other cultures. We're going to continue to celebrate those. But we always have something going on. And if I tell you everything now, it won't be as great because it won't be a surprise when it happens.
True. Is there anything you want to add before we kind of wrap up, Mr. Robinson?
Nope. Just don't forget to, stand quietly for a few minutes and have happy thoughts and be nice to each other and take care of yourself and others.
You can find more incredible content from Arav on The Geopolitical, which you can access on Apple, Spotify, Google, and other podcast platforms, as well as their recently launched website, thegeopolitical.net. In the NBA, James Harden continues to find his way into drama with the Philadelphia 76ers. The 10-time All-Star and former MVP has had a very controversial offseason once again, having many disputes with 76ers general manager Daryl Morey. Harden took a pay cut this season with the expectation of being awarded a max contract by the 76ers in the coming offseason, and when that didn't happen, Harden went to parties and events saying Daryl Morey is a liar and didn't show up to media day. While Harden did eventually show up to training camp, there are still many rumors that this season may still not be smooth in Philadelphia. Right now, on the other hand, football fans are enjoying the NFL season, but after mid-February, there is usually no competitive football to watch. Until now. Two spring football leagues that have thrived previously are the USFL and XFL, and after 2 successful regular seasons, they have decided to merge. There are still many details that need to be figured out, like how they are going to combine teams and standings, what the league name will be, and if XFL owner Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will still have ownership. But it seems like we could actually have some competitive football in the coming springs. Lastly, for our sports news, we need to mention that the NHL season just started this week, with the Vegas Golden Knights looking to defend their title. For all of our hockey fans like me, let's go have a fun season.